Hi guys, my name is Miguel and welcome to my weekly tutorials. Yeah, just a video tips for you. For this week, my tip will be on why are my images blurred sometimes and how you can look forward to getting them sharper. So let's get into it. Okay, so I have my Canon 40D here. And one of the major issues people experience when they are taking their photos is simply their posture when they are, the positioning, the way they're holding the camera. So with your camera, you're holding it like this, obviously. Now there is the area here, so the grip for the camera. Now make sure you're holding this very firmly and very steadily. Keeping your fingers there and making sure this grip is tight. Obviously your forefinger comes here when you are taking the photo. Generally, in terms of your stance, I know my it's just a half body shot here, but basically make sure your arms are steady, they are firm, and in terms of this side, that your arms are steady, not too loose here, otherwise it will affect the angle at which the camera, when you're taking the shot, you don't want it too loose. So you want this form here, nice and firm and strong, so that when you do take your photo, your hands are not shaking. A suggestion I make is to tuck your arms into your shoulders and make sure this is tight if you do want that hand stability. With your legs, sort of spread them out, shoulder width apart, and slightly bent in your knees, so that it is firm and it allows for that added stability as well. So when you are taking the photo, generally I'm not at sort of fully frontal onto my subject. Your arm would basically your hand would need to support the camera lens, holding it here as you can see. So when I'm holding it, basically let's take this lens cover off. Basically something like that. So if you're following my stance, I'm not fully square on in terms of to my subject, so in this case the audience. When I'm holding it, it's kind of like that. So there is a slight angle on my body, again, so that I can position my arm to support the lens itself. Depending on what lens you're using, the bigger the lens, then you'd want a lot more firmer in your stance here. So I'm holding it like this and like that. So as you can see in terms of my posture there, slight 45 degree, I am slightly tilted so that I can grip this camera and the lens with this hand here. It's kind of like that. And when I'm taking a photo, I'm ready, and I can still move the lens with this hand here. So I just unlock the lens there. I can still move the lens around, and when I am moving the camera, I can still move it like this. So the idea is that I am moving from this part of my body, my torso. I'm not moving from this area. That way, if I need to change any angle, I move around like this from mainly my torso area. That way, you keep that added stability there, and helps for keeping your images nice and sharp. So the other point I'd like to make as well, do watch your shutter speed. Make sure that basically is at the highest it can be. Simply because the higher your shutter speed is, then the more stable your images can be. Say generally for outdoor shots, where there's a lot of sunlight, you can afford to get shutter speeds of over 1,000 plus. That's 1,000 of a second. Play with your settings. Basically, get the highest shutter speed you can. Outdoors, you have plenty of light, so anything in terms of 100 plus, you can definitely get that. When you're indoors, generally somewhere around 100 plus, around there, depending on if it is a low light situation. And the aperture would affect the shutter speed you're going to get. So you want the biggest aperture in terms of the lens opening. want to allow the most amount of light into the camera when you are taking the photo. So when it does open, it opens. When it does open with a shutter, it opens for the biggest lens opening. That's your aperture lens opening. So biggest and not smallest. So generally most lenses, I have a 2.8 lens here. So there's a prime lens, Tamron lens. If you do have a not prime lens, 5.6, just make sure you do know the largest aperture your camera lens can go. That way you can obtain your fastest shutter speed and crop up your ISO to balance it out. For night shots, I'd recommend something around 1600. For anything outdoors, maybe around 100 to 400. Get the fastest shutter speed you can. Make sure your aperture is at the largest so that you can get the quickest shutter speed you can. Another suggestion I do have is to use the AV mode, so aperture priority mode if you are using a Canon camera. That's the one showing AV there, on the camera there. In using AV mode, pretty much you're able to set the aperture, so the lens opening, at a consistent setting. So if it's a 5.6, it'll stay at 5.6, so the largest that your lens can go. In my case is 2.8, so you set that first and it'll stay there. And then you can let the camera detect in terms of what shutter speed to use. So personally I like this mode because it allows me to set only one setting only, and then the camera, I can trust the camera to use the fastest shutter speed that it can get within that given aperture setting. So I find it a lot faster, especially if you're outdoors. Really, you want to minimize the amount you're fiddling around with your camera, and then focus on taking your photos, clicking away, rather than fiddling around. What am I going to do with my camera? So you want to make your life easy. You want to make it a lot more painless. So yeah, try aperture priority mode, or whatever your camera brand you're using, the closest to, just so that you can set the f-stop yourself, the largest, and then let the camera determine its own shutter speed. And the last suggestion I have for this overall tip, really, you try to get a camera lens if you can afford it. I know, sometimes budget is a bit tight. A lens that does have image stabilizer. That way, your camera, it compensates for any camera shake that you may have. Yes, it does cost a bit more, but the added benefit is basically you do get much sharper images, and in turn, you basically be able to get sharper, clearer images, given the same aperture and shutter speed settings. So a lot more stabilization, a couple hundred more, but it's worth it. Hi guys, so thanks again for tuning into my weekly tip on camera tips and photography. If there's anything you'd like help on, any questions, anything you're unsure of, how to take photos of this or sports or nature, anything like that, just flick me a comment, send me a message, and and please head over to my website for if you're wanting personalized courses just like this. I do make personalized videos and coaching sessions, especially for you. And you can even put it on your tablet or your phone. If there's anything you're getting to learn, I want to learn sports, or I want to learn more about taking photos of my favorite cat, for example, by all means, I'm here to help you. Just flick me a message or visit my website. Link should be coming there. And I look forward to working with you and teaching you more, and happy snapping.